Margaret Council, and I want to ask the Minister for Finance in relation to the Special Assignee Relief Programme, what the effect will be in the terms of the massive benefits to very highly paid individuals of the further generous concessions that the Minister provides in the Finance Bill.
Thank you. Minister.
As the Deputy will appreciate, predicting the cost and take-up of any new tax measure is difficult. When SARP was introduced in 2012, it was estimated that for every 100 individuals that availed of the scheme, the cost of the Exchequer would be approximately €5 million. The recent review of SARP has shown that just 12 individuals availed of the scheme in 2012, and provisional figures show that 31 individuals availed of it in 2013. As the Deputy will be aware, my officials conducted a review of the Special Assignee Relief Programme in advance of this year's budget. The review analysed aspects of the scheme, such as the background and rationale for the programme, and data available from the Revenue Commissioners, including the cost and take-up of the programme. In addition, a public consultation was held. A report was written on the review, and this has been published on the budget website. Taking into account the review, on Budget Day I announced the amendments you have mentioned. Based on discussions with stakeholders, I believe that these measures are a positive step forward as part of a range of measures forming the roadmap to secure Ireland's place as a destination for best and most successful companies in the world. It is not, however, possible to predict what the take-up will be. I have provided an estimate additional cost of €1 million in 2015 for the scheme. My department and the Revenue Commissioners will keep the levels of take-up of the programme under review.
Deputy Higgins.
Council, the Special Assignee Relief Programme was a massive tax break given by this government for the very highest paid executives who would qualify. And a qualifying chief executive on €500,000 or 500,000 a year, for example, would increase his or her take-home pay by a breathtaking €52,275 in a year. The Minister had a cap of €500,000. Now he's removing that cap so that somebody on $750,000, for example, will get not just the 52,275 I mentioned, but an extra 30,750 on top of that, bringing an extra take-home of €83,000. This is an incredible inequality in our society. At the same time that the Minister is hammering the poorest people and middle and low-income workers with water charges and other austerity burdens. It speaks volumes about the ethos of this government.
Thank you. Minister.
Different countries all around the world compete for foreign direct investment. And in recent years, schemes such as this have become the norm, especially in West European countries. And for countries that have a very high marginal rate of income tax like Ireland, we have a competitive disadvantage in attracting key personnel to our countries. They have a scheme in Holland which is even more generous than anything I'm putting on the table now, and they're direct competitors for foreign direct investment for us. The scheme intends bringing in key people into Ireland who in the absence of these key people, the start-up wouldn't take place, or the development of the industry wouldn't take place. And that's the advice I get. As I said, it has applied to very few on the year of introduction. Only 12 people took it up. And in the last year for which we have figures, the initial estimate is that up to 31 persons have taken it up. There is another factor as well, as the whole debate on international tax avoidance develops. It's quite clear that the OECD's policy position is that the test of validity is where real economic endeavour takes place. In other words, no brass plates. And if you can get key individuals in who are some of the key people in multinational companies, well then you can prove very easily that there's real activity taking place in your jurisdiction.
Thank you. Deputy Higgins.
I mean, it's just a further proof of, you know, an illustration of the huge anomalies created by a weak Irish capitalism over the last 30 or 40 years, completely making itself over-dependent on multinational investment instead of developing indigenous industries and more organic investment locally. And this is the type of stuff that results from this. Can I ask you, who lobbied you for this, Minister? Who are the so-called stakeholders who wanted this? Yes, it is a small number of individuals, but it is highly symbolic of the massive chasm between the richest of the rich in this country, the people with huge take-home pay, chief executives, etc., and then what is happening under austerity to ordinary people who get hammered on a daily basis. Where is the break for them when you wipe out whatever minuscule concessions you gave in the budget, with or attempt to wipe it out with a water tax? I say attempt because you won't get it.
Yeah, the people who make submissions on these matters are the people who are familiar with foreign direct investment and its benefits for the country, and the platforms that are necessary to attract foreign direct investment to Ireland against the competition from other countries. A lot of people made submissions when we opened the consultative process, but principal among them would be the IDA, the American Chamber of Commerce, the IBEC, the tax practitioners, the big firms that represent foreign direct investment in the country. And they make their submissions and we make a judgment. Now we get submissions as well from people who don't have expertise in the area, but who have strong opinions about these matters. And we take it into account. But, you know, the objective is to have more foreign direct investment in the country so that there's more jobs created. I don't disagree with you that the model historically in Ireland has been lopsided, and not enough of attention has been given to indigenous industry and growing it to make it into a multinational industries. But you'll notice that that's not true of this administration, and that in every finance bill we have concentrated on agriculture and food, and we've concentrated on tourism. And we're growing agriculture and food and tourism into major industries, even bigger than they were historically in the country. And I'll continue to do that, because as far as I'm concerned, while foreign direct investment is very, very important, the growth of indigenous industry with deep roots in Irish society is equally important.